Welcome back, everybody. I'm Brad.
I'm Steve.
So today we are going to have a second review of the Craft Brew Imperial Stout. This is the first monthly extract kit that shipped from Craft Brew. In the first one, I thought the body was a little light. Maybe we were missing some vanilla and stuff like that. And it is a stout, so giving it time to mellow and age like a stout should.
Might help.
Yeah, might help. So I want to say this is a month after the first review, something like that.
Okay.
So we'll see. It's been sitting out. I did pour it. It's in a keg. I poured it. We did another review. And it's been setting. So off-white, I would say khaki color head.
Mm-hmm.
Color.
Can't see through it. Jet black.
Yeah, I would say it is very black, small amber hue at the bottom, if anything. What do you get out of a smell?
Get vanilla. I get some roast, though, too.
Yeah, I think almost like a roasted coffee chili note is what I get. Maybe a hint of vanilla. I think it's probably still too cold.
Might be.
You know, it actually reminds me of a Mexican chocolate beer that we were just talking about, one from Brewdog. That's kind of what it is. It's not bitter, but that roasted malt chili is what comes out the most in my eyes. Okay, taste.
What's the percentage again?
6.5.
It doesn't taste like that. It tastes like a very high alcohol.
Do you think that's because of that roasted malt and that chili? I still think the body is very light, but like that first drink, it almost feels big where it didn't before.
Yes.
So I think the time has helped this one.
Yeah, if you were to give this to me, like I can tell it's on the lighter end of maybe an Imperial Stout, but it tastes like it should be like a 9.5% at least.
Yeah. Right at the beginning is, that roasted malt, that chili.
Almost like a rum flavor.
Yeah. And then it's like, I'm light now. It's like
it
heavy
really,
light.
it goes really fast, but it's a good flavor.
Right.
So like, I mean, this would be a great beer if like you like something like Expedition Stout or any kind of Russian Imperial Stout or Imperial Stout, and you're like, but I want to drink more than 3
right.
and be able to make it home.
Or like
great.
an Imperial. To me, it's more of the lines of like an Imperial Porter.
Yeah.
For the flavors, but the body is lighter.
Yeah, it's really.
Yeah,
the body reminds me of a porter. It does. It's lighter than you'd think.
I think I'm getting some chocolate, but I did leave the cocoa nibs with the chilies and the coffee in for 2 weeks. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing because I would rather have the hotness of it over any of the other flavor profiles. But I wonder if I left it in a week, I could pick up more on those cocoa nibs, so like the chocolate. I don't think it's going to be bitter, but it doesn't burn, but it's
I can tell there's a hot pepper.
Yeah.
Because it kind of goes, for me, it goes from like kind of rummish to a little bit of that chocolate vanilla and then straight to the pepper of whatever was there. And that pepper lingers.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's almost like you use maybe like a very soft jalapeno kind of pepper because it's not like it burns. It just kind of
I'm
lingers.
here, but then I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I get what you're saying about the upfront. I wouldn't say it's sweet. I'm guessing it's that vanilla, that chocolate vanilla right up front. Where it's like, I'm a heavy beer.
Yeah, and that's maybe what that vanilla is, kind of that rummy kind of flavor I'm getting.
Yeah, because there's I do not believe there's like oak or anything. It's just the cocoa nibs with the chilies and the coffee beans. Then you had steeping grains, so obviously that's going to add some roasted.
No, I can tell there's some chili in there though. It's good. It's if you were to set this in front of me, like I said, I wouldn't think this was a 6.
Yeah, I would think it's higher.
Yeah.
Now.
Yep. But like you said, it's not thick either. It's very it's a drinkable beer.
I would go almost the flavor profile of like an Expedition Stout, a heavy, dark, thick beer, but with the body. I would even go down to a porter, like a very dark brown ale / porter is where I would go with the body, but for the taste, there's a lot going on there.
Ton going on. That's not a lot. There's a ton.
So, but yeah, I could, and that's why I wanted to save this one. And even though I wouldn't say I bashed it, but I said in the first one I can tell it's an extract because it's light. Because I feel if you did brew in the bag, all grain brewing on this, you would get more of that grain, that roasted malt, maybe black patent, chocolate malt. I think it would end up being a thicker beer.
Well, and with all grain, you could thicken it up. So like if you brew this and you're like, kind of missed the mark on thickness, you could say, all right, let's add some oatmeal or some flakes.
Well, this had oatmeal.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd probably pop that up a little higher.
Yeah, in the steeping grains there was oatmeal, but I'm guessing I could still tell, and it's an extract batch, even if I didn't make this beer, because of that if I could talk tonight, flavor profile of a big stout, but the body of a porter almost throws it for me. And I think that's what we'll see maybe in the extract version of the Amarillo small batch, is the body
it's a little thinner.
Is thinner.
And I wonder if we could tweak water usage to see if we could thicken that up.
I don't know. How I don't believe you could, just because you still have to put 1.25 gallons. I think you would have to add more DME and drive up the ABV just to get a thicker body.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think, back in the day when I did extract, I wasn't brewing big beers. So to me, it wasn't an issue. Because I was brewing, like one of the bigger beers, or thicker beers, and it's not really thick, would be like a Fat Tire.
Right.
And I think I did a Blue Moon once, and that was a lot of oats in it, so
I
thickened it up. But yeah, it wasn't, as thin.
Right.
As something like this. So.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's extract brewers out there that could probably tell us, and hopefully they do, how they would thicken up the beer. Especially if maybe that's what you have to do. You have to buy that dry malt extract and buy some oats and steep those oats so that gluten or whatever that stuff is
stuff.
Yeah, goes into that beer to thicken it up. So if you wanted even to make this beer more like an all grain batch, use double the oats, or something.
Because the flavor's there.
Yeah. I
think the flavor's right there.
Yeah, this is something that I'll keep and drink on, even in the summer, because that body's light.
It is, yeah. And the alcohol, too.
Yeah.
It's not a 10 and a half, 11.
And that's the funny thing, because I was just thinking, I would drink this when I'm mowing. And usually I'm saying, I want a light beer or an IPA.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, but, and that could be a good thing. If you're into those dark porters or heavy porters, heavy stouts, and you want that in the summer, maybe an extract version
Might be best.
Might be best because, to me, this still drinks like water.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, what I really like, and one of my favorite beers, and I can't remember the darn name of it, but it's in England, and what they do is they actually make a 12% beer and like a 4% beer, and they actually mix the batch, and they age the 12% for like ever, but then they make this 4%, mix it, and you get the flavor profiles of a really like 10-12% beer, but yet it's drinkable at like 5.5%.
Right.
And the reason they did it in England was back in the day they had to pay taxes on the alcohol percentage. So for them to get the same profiles as like a high alcohol, but yet, dip under the government, they did that. And I'm like, man, that's kind of what the same thing this is, even though you didn't mix two batches together.
Which we might have to.
I'm down for it. Supposedly Newcastle does it, right? They get an old beer and a young beer and mix it together. So.
Well, and I think you do see that even in the recent Rochester Mills, the Imperial bourbon barrel aged beers that they have. On the side, it has batch this number, and this number. So, blended. Yeah, they could make a bigger batch, a medium batch, and a small batch, and mix them together and say, here you go, here's a 6%. Because that was my gripe was, how is this a barrel-aged beer at 6.2%?
Right. And that's, I think, same thing that British company was doing is, we're going to take this high alcohol beer and a low alcohol beer, mix them together, and you get a medium alcohol beer.
But you get all the flavor and stuff out of that beer. Yeah. So, I think this is good. Definitely worth trying. Obviously, if you're watching this now, I do not believe you can get this recipe. You can try it. I've got notes on it. I've got the picture of the actual grain bill, so you could try reproducing it. But taking this and doing an all grain version would be fun.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to do that until winter because, again, the body on this is a summer.
Sure. And you're probably going to ratchet it up to like a 10.
Yeah, you're going to be way up there. Yeah. So if you like this video, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when new videos are coming out. And until next time, I'm Brad.
And I'm Steve.
Happy brewing.
See you next time.